Hey, Chad Venture here. Just thought I'd take you guys on my epic trip to Quesnel Forks. Here you can see a nice drive we had going down the highway. Lots of cars, there's lots of scenery if you look off the distance. Mountains, one little cloud up there on the left-hand side. This, of course, is at 16 speed. Quesnel Forks is a ghost town. It's kind of like a theme park ghost town, but there's no sales. The only person that's ever there really is the caretaker. Although it's got lots of signs, lots of history, and the buildings are in pretty good shape. They've built a bunch of them. The trip in there is quite epic on its own. There's a mine across the river and lake for the town of Likely. That town is pretty awesome in itself, right on the Quesnel Lake. Once you get there, you just take a left at the end of town and head up to Quesnel Forks. The road gets pretty narrow and pretty steep. But here we are, we're driving along, seeing more scenery. There's a really nice big field there. You can see the mountains off in the distance. It's the nice thing about British Columbia. There's lots of mountains. Rocky Mountains go right up the middle of it, pretty much. And of course, Quesnel Forks is sort of nestled right in the Pacific side edge of the mountains. Now, being in BC, we do get a lot of snow, so these trips are best taken in the summertime. Oh, there's a train. Of course, like most of these trips, you end up driving on the highway a lot more than you end up driving on the back roads. I mean, I could take the back roads all the way there, but that would be a very long trip. Maybe something to do on a multi-day camping trip and stop at multiple spots. Gotta stop for some snacks. Okay, back on the road. Here we go. That's a bunch of hay bales on the side there. Finally gravel. Got across that cattle guard. Meaning there's actively cattle in this area. BC has lots of government cattle land where farmers can let their cattle graze and basically just be a cow. And there's public roads through it, so you got to be careful for cattle on the road. Sometimes you get to a place and there's cows all over the road and you can't go past until they decide to move. And usually they don't move very fast. There we go. We're on the corner there, see the truck. Of course, this is still at 16 speed. If I didn't. Nice little farm up there on the hill. And we're back on the road. Here we are. This is the hill to go down into Quesnel Forks, but it's in reverse here. This is going upside. As you can see, it is pretty steep. Lots of switchbacks. And of course, it is basically just one lane and a very steep cliff on the one side. Luckily for us, it's not too high up, so there's still lots of trees. So even if you were to fall off the road, you just kind of run into the trees. They'd hold you up for the most part. And here we go, ripping down the road. Of course, safe to say, I'd never drive this fast down these roads anyways. You never know when someone's coming around the corner on the wrong side. Speaking of that, you guys are back on the back roads. Stick to your own side of the road. The rules do apply back there. And it keeps everyone safe. Some beautiful scenery. It was a beautiful day. There's the blue skies. The thick, dense brush of the northern rainforest makes it quite hard to travel, just get out and go anywhere. So usually roads or trails are fairly required. You can bushwhack, but you're going to bring a machete and hack through it like it is, because it is a rainforest. And in our rainforest, our canopy is very low, like right on the ground, so there's not much room to walk past all the brush without pushing your way through. Here we are. This is Quesnel Lake, and that's the town of Likely. It's not much of a town, so I'm kind of just turned around there. Most of it's private properties. Now there's that Quesnel Lake, and right there by that bridge, right here, it just turns into the Quesnel River. It's right there. This is the highway leading out of Likely, and here we are back at the Quesnel Forks. That ahead of us is the graveyard. Lots of very old graves there, and there's some people who've been buried there not too recently. This town has had residents in it in this last century, into the, I think the 40s, maybe even the 80s, with one or two people just sticking around because, they really like that place. Here we see a tree that had fallen down that the caretaker had to cut apart and push aside. Now we're coming up on a cable-driven shovel. Now those are pretty interesting. Back in the old days, they used to be steam shovels, and I think that this one actually is just between steam and diesel, right before they became excavators as we normally know them now. There also was I think there was a D8 cat there, back there. There's a little excavator. Now I'm pretty sure that the big shovel there with the cables is non-functional, as you can kind of see right through the engine hole. Now here we are again. This is a pit in the area. Stopped in here, had a little lunch. Of course, these hills never do justice on camera. This is way steeper than it looks. Pretty impressive climbing up there. And of course, back onto the road. I get a lot of questions from people. What are those wires hanging off of your hood? Well, those are called limb risers, and if you don't know, they lift limbs over the roof of your vehicle so that they don't smash into the windshield when you're going down a overgrown trail. Extremely different lengths and styles, but these are the basic ones. I got some shrink tube and put it over top of the turnbuckles. They're made of metal, and the hood, they hit the hood. So I covered them in a shrink tube, and it's been sealed and great for years now. The mount has saved me from having my windshield broken or smacked with limbs, and also just the visual to be able to see ahead. Now here we go. We're heading down through Quesnel Forks here, just past the graveyard, and this is a road right down to the, as you call it, a beach. It's mostly rocks though. I wouldn't really want to go swimming in this river. It's very, very swift and very cold. Parts of it can be very deep as well. And in the springtime, of course, all this rock area isn't the beach. It is the river. Now, if you look out in the river, you can see those sticks standing up there. Now those sticks are actually the supports for the old bridge that used to go across there. I've never been to the other side to see where that road came down. You can kind of see it going off to the left-hand side up through the trails. It's a little easier in person when you're over there. You kind of see where the road used to be. Now here we are. We're coming back out from the bottom and looking around. Here's that graveyard again. We passed that. A lot of the Chinese bodies have been dug up and sent back to China to their families. But there used to be a large area of Chinese graves there. At least that's what the sign says. And now we're heading back down towards the town. There's the caretaker's truck. Pretty much the only person who was here when I was here. And the sign. And here's one of the buildings you can see. You can go in these buildings. There's signs explaining whose house they were, or business, or if it was a barn or something. And here we are. What a beautiful view. This is right at the forks. You can see the Quesnel River on the left. And I can't remember the name of the river that flows into it at the right there. But it's also pretty swift and nice green water. Here's all the nice campsites around this place. Some beachfront ones there. Lots of outhouses. This place is really nice. And not very many people go here. I totally recommend going. It's sometimes busy, but usually this is how I show up. And maybe one or two people show up whole time camping. Besides the caretaker, who I'm guessing lives in Lake. Shows up. Oh, there's a person. Here we are back at that same building again. I was looking for a camping spot. Oh, changed my mind. Didn't want to go that one. There's the barn there. Came up another way onto the caretaker's truck again. Figured I'd just drive around the town at first, and somebody was there taking up camping spots. I wasn't worried about not getting one. Usually I don't camp in places that are like this, with pre-made camping spots, picnic tables and stuff, but the whole point was to go in this ghost town. And being that it's 3 or 4 hours away from my home, it's, worth staying there for the night. And here we are. This is a nice camping spot. You hear the river in the background. Beautiful, beautiful view. It was a great day. Well, this is Chad Venture for Northern Rainforest Safari signing off. Have yourself a great day. Adventure awaits.